a dance, lasso the rainbow, always be kind, do what you can, if only in mind. Remember the power that lives within you. Ask and believe, then just watch it come through. Power for good, you can use it. Know that you can choose it. Power for good keeps on giving, magnifies our living. Power for good, you can use it. Know that you can choose it. Power for good keeps on giving every single day. Live in the moment, embrace the thrill of how there is order through valley and hill. Cradle the passion, the purpose divine. Love never leaves us, come rain or come shine. Remember the power that lives within you. Ask and believe, then just watch it come through. Power for good, you can use it. Know that you can choose it. Power for good keeps on giving, magnifies our living. Power for good, you can use it. Know that you can choose it. Power for good keeps on giving every single day.
Good morning and welcome to the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living right here in Paoli, Pennsylvania. We love you and we invite you to join with us in consciousness in this virtual celebration as we meet together in this way. And we invite you to join us in the consciousness of love every day. We love connecting our hearts with each other deeply and learning and practicing the principles of science of mind. So our purpose is awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And I swear I heard some of you say that with me just now, from wherever you may be. And our vision is creating a world that works for all. Our mission is providing spiritual tools for personal and global transformation. And our purpose statement is, and please say this one with me, living, loving, learning, spirituality that works. And now we're going to have an opening song. It was by Ricky Beebe. It's called I Trust in God, and this actually shows our own music team. And here we go.
I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one in the spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God again. I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one in the spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender. I am one in the spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God again. I surrender, I surrender. I am one in the spirit. surrender, I surrender. I trust in God. Back to thankful. I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one in the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I trust in God. I trust in God. One more time. I trust in God.
Beautiful. Let's have a meditation now. Let's come to the center of our hearts, and feel ourselves coming into the deepest part of our hearts now. Feel the presence of love moving through you with grace. Invite that precious flow to cleanse whatever needs to be cleansed, to heal, to revitalize, and to bring us to this sweet, sweet, holy place, the sacred space within us. As we breathe in love and breathe out any tension, breathe in wisdom, exhale any concern. Feel the calmness. Dive deeply into the living waters of spirit. And just let yourself be loved. Let's dive deeply into that brilliant center of truth within. Open your heart. Open your mind to its nurture and its guidance. Let's feel the infinite power in which you live and move and have your very being. In this sacred and safe place, you are being embraced by love and motivated by kindness. Now let's begin imagining how you and I can be used by love in order to serve a higher purpose for yourself, for all others, until we realize there is no other. Allow any picture to arise, and do not judge whatever may come. For there is a great gift within you ready to be given to yourself and to the world. So invite the Holy Presence within to allow that great gift, those next steps, to be revealed to you. Give thanks for each image that may come up. And then rest in the awareness that it is not you of yourself, but the great, creative, intelligent, loving, wise, and wonderful presence and power that leads, inspires, and lifts you as you give your precious gifts. Give thanks for your guidance. Ask for the spiritual support to continue to lift you, guide and direct you. And let's rejoice in this inspiration. And let's rejoice in our ability to share our gifts together, for the inspiration is breathing in. Inspire, breathe in. Conspire, work together. Let this goodness unfold. Let's work together with peace and power. As we now simply give thanks that all is well. Now we'll have an opening treatment by our practitioner Joe Lurkwin this morning, and we thank him for being with us virtually as well.
Good morning. I come to you as your practitioner of the day. My name is Joe Lurkwin. I am one with the One, knowing that all is complete and all is the perfection of each one of us, and so grateful that you will all be able to attend today's celebration and be part of this one. I know that I am very grateful for the Thursday night meeting that we had to bring together 3 local spiritual communities in order to discuss the move from talking the talk to walking the walk, and co-creating a world that mutually respectful world that works for all. I know this is a very powerful and insightful group, and I'm very grateful that so many of our members are part of this group. And I'll state this treatment in the first person. You may take it for yourself if you wish. I know that there is only one God, one source, one. We are all part of that one. I know I am part of that one, as are every one of you and everyone else. I know that we are the one mind, one body that controls the entire universe. Everything is controlled and everything is part of the one. I know that what we think is thought and known by everyone. So I know that by thinking the perfection and by the wonderful parts of how we want this world to be in the future, that is be, and that's so it is, and that's how it will commence to be from now on. And I know this is the truth, and I'm grateful for these communities and these discussions that are going on right here and right now. I release this knowing it is complete, it is done, as we say together, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Joe. Hi. I would like to talk to our kids, please. Are you all gathered round? Are you in your pajamas? Have you had your breakfast? I'm very happy to be with you. You know, I learned at your age, maybe even a little younger, that I was God-powered. You're God-powered too. I know you, and I know that. So I understood, even as a kid, that there was a really wise and loving presence that was within me and all around me, and it was within other people and all around them as well. And I knew that this divine presence and power could do wonderful things through me. Sure, I could make my bed and do my chores. I still do. But I could also accomplish just about anything I truly desired to do by making up my mind to do it and then letting God work through me. You know, things like having friends, doing well in school, getting new clothes. And then I found out that this loving presence could also flow through me to lift up others. I could make a difference in the kids and the adults around me, to help to lift them up, to bring a smile, maybe where there was a tear, or confidence to someone who might have been feeling confused. And I know you, and I know you do this. I've seen you do this, and it's wonderful. So let's continue, all of us, using God's power for good, and only for good. You and I are doing this together. Thank you. Now, I'm not just a talking head today, folks, although that's about all you can see of me, because I have chosen to sit down behind the pulpit and just have a very relaxing, kind of like a fireside chat with you today. And today, we're continuing our theme for the month of June, because it's the last Sunday in June. So, of course, we're going to continue it for now, and we'll start a new one next week. But the June theme has been practical spirituality, putting to work in our world, as well as our own personal lives, the basic ideas of philosophy of this dynamic science of mind. And today's talk is roll up our metaphysical sleeves, or roll up our metaphorical sleeves. It's kind of the same thing, except that metaphorical means figurative, and metaphysical means beyond the physical. Here's a quote from Ernest Holmes. "We should work not with anxiety, but with expectancy, not by coercion, but with conviction, not through compulsion, but in a state of conscious recognition and receptivity." That's from The Science of Mind, page 58. And that's especially for those of you who are in the book study on Saturday morning about the science of mind. So what we know is that how we use this power for good determines our life experience. Ernest Holmes also said something that has always touched me deeply and motivates me every time I read it in the textbook. What the world needs is spiritual conviction followed by spiritual experience. I would rather see a student of this science prove its principle than to have him repeat all the words of wisdom that have ever been uttered. The way to begin is to begin. Dr. Holmes also said, "To each is given what he needs, and the gifts of heaven come alike to all. How we shall use these gifts is all that matters." As Joe mentioned earlier, we had a fabulous Thursday night in which Centers for Spiritual Living, 3 of us came together. The 3 spiritual leaders, Reverend Twana Malone from the Center of Peace in Elkins Park in Philadelphia, Reverend Kathleen Johnson from CSL Delaware, and myself from our Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living. We have been working together for weeks. We were visioning, the 3 of us, about how to bring our communities together and move from talking our talk to walking our walk. And the fruit that is coming out of this already is beautiful. It's delicious. We had, after the 3 of us had been visioning for a couple of weeks, we invited the leadership from all 3 of our communities to come together and vision. And from that point, we realized that it was time to bring all 3 of our congregations together on Zoom, of course. And Thursday night was the culmination of this. And yet it also was the beginning, only the beginning of what's to come, because we already have dates on the calendar for the next 3 months to continue this deep, honest, authentic conversation so that we can hear each other with love and respect and appreciation and curiosity. It's true that racism is endemic. It's a system. It's another pox on humanity. And as we become aware and awaken to it, we find out that we really do need to roll up our metaphorical sleeves. Stay with principle. Know the truth that sets us free and sets all of us free. At the same time that we're using this great power for good to actually put boots on the ground and to make a difference with our beloved ones all over the world, starting with our own communities. Oh, the conversations were so rich. They were so real. And what's beautiful is because all three of our communities, spiritual communities, are based in the science of mind philosophy. We have this beautiful context, a great container in which anything can be shared and heard with respect and with real curiosity. There's no place for criticism. There's no place for defensiveness. There is every place for opening hearts and opening minds and truly appreciating. There were tears, there was laughter, and as I said, this is only the beginning. When we begin with a small group and expand that group and expand that group and expand that group, then we really do become the change makers that we've been waiting for. We're not waiting for our saviors to come anymore. We are the ones. We're the ones we've been waiting for. And we all have our work to do. Reverend Mike and I have been doing our work. We have been doing diversity training, and we've been opening our hearts and our minds, and we're looking to see, oh, what may still be lurking within my subconscious mind? Something, a message from years past that I didn't recognize hadn't yet been fully transformed. What do I need to look at in history? Because, we grew up with a very different history in our books. It was not only different, it was incomplete. And we're now learning and we're understanding and we're growing and deepening in our acknowledgement that we didn't know what we didn't know. What we do know, along with discovering what we didn't know that we didn't know, is that the divine presence of love and wisdom is greater than anything, and it is this context in which all of the contents can now be looked at and transformed. The great transformational power is within us all. And why is that? It's because there's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is whole, complete, and perfect. And oneness is the truth. And we're utilizing that power for good. Every time we reframe, every time we rethink, every time we open hearts a little bit wider, every time we enter into true forgiveness. Reverend Dr. Sue Rubin, a beautiful, beautiful friend, and one of the most fabulous crones. That's right. We now have mentors in our spiritual communities. I guess I'm of that age that they're beginning to consider me to be one too. And Sue Rubin was quoting Heraclitus, and you're all familiar with this, but I love where she went with it. She quoted him saying, "No man ever steps into the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man." And then she also quoted Thomas Merton, that great Christian mystic, who said, "No one can enter the Heraclitean river wearing the garments of public and collective ideas. He must know that immediacy is for the naked minds only. Come, dervishes, here is the water of life. Dance in it." And that's what I want us all to do as we are embarking on these beautiful transformational opportunities. Let's keep our hearts light about it. Let's smile and laugh with each other. Let's dance with it as we're saying the hard sayings and hearing what's maybe difficult to hear and reading and understanding things that might blow our minds. Let's stay loving and light and do the dancing. So she gave us this beautiful spiritual mind treatment on our minister's listserv, and she concluded it with this affirmation, which I'd like to share with you. I carry myself with the demeanor of a divine devotee. In the midst of chaotic conditions, my central self remains intact, untouched, untainted, unperturbed, and undisturbed. I insist upon benefiting myself and all by continuing to glide across the dance floor of life, doing the dance of oneness. Is that a beautiful affirmation? Wouldn't you love to take that into your day? Let's decide to do that. You see, when we set our minds on a vision, on a goal, and know that we are empowered by the infinite divine presence and power of the divine, and then we're able to take that new idea and to let God work us with love in such a way that it becomes formulated for success. We're now in the process of formulating our new world for success. Both a healthy world physically, with the virus that has been taking so many people down, also with the virus of the systemic racism. Isn't it wonderful that we're standing in principle in the middle of these two opportunities? Please know these are opportunities. We are in the process of creating, co-creating a whole new beautiful world. Can we get excited about that? Absolutely. Especially when we realize that our vision is God's vision expressing through us and teaching us and showing us the way. How to be kinder to one another. How to be more truly, authentically caring. How to live life a little more simply. Haven't we learned in the last few months that all of those things we thought were so important to us out there really don't matter that much? Loving one another, caring for ourselves and each other, deepening our connection with Spirit, that living presence of God, doing the deep dive into those sacred waters of Spirit that are within and all around us, swimming in a sea of serenity and possibility. These are beautiful lessons that we've been learning. I don't want them to go away, and they won't, because we, I trust, have been learning some important lessons. They're gifts. They're not just lessons that some mean professor has been imposing upon us. These are gifts. Gifts of simplicity. Gifts of real caring. Gifts of truly feeling empowered. Because the entire universe supports us in our determination to build a better life and a more peaceful and a healthier and a more powerful and a more just world. Ernest says, let us feel that our purposes are animated. Animated. Our purposes are animated. They're not just talking the talk anymore. Our purposes are animated and inspired from on high. And then let us go forth in our dream, with our dream come true in human experience. Because this dream is not something from which I want to awaken. This dream of a new world, this vision that we are co-creating together, is real, and it has power. And we have the passion to allow the law of mind to bring our vision into being. Continuing with Ernest Holmes, with an invisible intelligence to guide and an immutable law to direct, let us take our place in any legitimate activity, and this will cause our dreams to come to full fruition. This is our time. We have never, so far as I know, lived in a time exactly like this. Doesn't that tell us that this is the appointed moment and that you and I are the designated people to bring this vision into being? And it means that we do roll up our sleeves, not only metaphorically, figuratively, but literally. See, I'm not even wearing any sleeves today. I already rolled mine up before I ever came in today. You know, we've heard there's power in numbers. And yes, because we see a lot of people speaking up, speaking what needs to be heard. And yet, the greatest power of all is in number 1. There is one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life. That life is your life. This is the truth that we continue to stay centered in while we're dealing with this and dealing with that and bringing our highest and best purposes and passion and love and caring and determination into everything that we do. So we get to ask the question, what is mine to do? That's always the question, isn't it? That's always the right question. Do you remember the Jim Carrey movie, The Yes Man? Where, because of some seminar that he took, he decided that he had to say yes to everything. Everything! Whether it was good for him or not. Whether it made sense or not. Because he believed he had made a covenant. That if he didn't say yes to everything, his life wouldn't go well. Well, some of the things he had said yes to were wonderful and really enhanced his life and gave him a future he might not have had otherwise. Some of them, not so much. So it's important for us to be judicious, to use wisdom, to ask ourselves. So many opportunities. So many things that we need to do, we think, because people tell us we have to do this, we have to do that. And it can be overwhelming, can't it? Let's not allow ourselves to get into that state of overwhelm. Let's ask deeply, deeply within our hearts and souls, what is mine to do? Is this something to which I should say yes? Is this something to which I should say maybe later? Is this something I should say, no way? Let our wisdom guide us. You know, there's a big difference between judgment, which we know is an ego-produced activity, and discernment. We know we want to move away from judgment. We know that judgment spiritualized is discernment, which is no longer making anybody else wrong. No person, no group of people, no institution. But discernment is simply asking ourselves, is this right for me? Or is this mine to do? So now is the time to roll up our metaphorical sleeves and our literal sleeves to do the holy work. It's holy work, my friends, holy work that is ours to do. There are a number of spiritual readings that I have embodied over the years, many of which I have memorized and utilized silently in some parts of my morning spiritual practices in meditation. And one of them I'd like to share with you today. It is called The Pattern on the Trestle Board, and it's from the Kabbalah. All the power there ever was or will be is here now. I am a center of expression for the primal will to good, which eternally creates and sustains the universe, Through me, its unfailing wisdom takes form in thought and word. Filled with understanding of its perfect law, I am guided moment by moment along the path of liberation. From the exhaustless riches of its limitless substance, I draw all things needful, both spiritual and material. I recognize the manifestation of the undeviating justice in all the circumstances of my life. In all things, great and small, I see the beauty of the divine expression. Living from that will, supported by its unfailing wisdom and understanding, mine is the victorious life. I look forward with confidence to the perfect realization of the eternal splendor of the limitless light. In thought and word and deed, I rest my life from day to day upon the sure foundation of eternal being. The kingdom of spirit is embodied in my flesh. The kingdom of spirit, the love, the wisdom, the empowerment, the possibility, the infinite possibility of a new world is right here in our physical bodies, in our emotions, in our minds. And so what is ours to do but to ask, how can I allow this divine spiritual nature that abides within me and every sentient being to come forward, to work together, to co-create heaven on earth? It's time. It is so time right now. Will you say with me, with joy and confidence, I embrace the presence of love and direct the law of mind for great and growing good. And so, my beloveds, beginneth our lesson. Now is the time of our celebration of prosperity, and we are so grateful that you continue to support our beautiful center here, so that when the doors reopen, you may all come back and find we are thriving. So this is your opportunity. We're going to have on the screen very short, in fact, there it is, the ways and the means that you can contribute. And there they are. I don't even have to read them. The important part of this is that we are circulating the divine abundance of this universe. As you give, so shall you receive, pressed down and running over. And so whatever you choose to share, know that we share it with the closest source of our good. And if this community may be one of those instruments through which you receive your spiritual nurture, we gratefully receive your contribution. So as you take your gift, whether you have it in your hand or whether you are figuratively holding it, join me, if you would, in speaking our prosperity affirmation together. I choose to celebrate prosperity. Divine love blesses my gift. It is my acceptance of God as the source of my abundant supply. With joy and gratitude, I share my abundance with this center. In doing so, I am one with the law of circulation. My tithe goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It returns to me multiplied abundantly, and I am prospered, and so it is.
on.
Oh, okay. All right. You all 6 feet away?
Yeah.
Place has been sanitized?
Yep.
Okay. Welcome, everyone, to the announcements.
Wait. We can't understand you.
What?
We can't understand you.
Oh, well. Okay. Cut. Am I on?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome.
No. We can't hear you again. It's too much.
All right. Yeah, okay. Oh. Hello, everyone.
You look like a bug.
What? Okay. All right. Oh, I can't read the notes anyway, so that's good. Hello. My name is Payson Burt, and I'm so honored and grateful to serve as a trustee and present this week's announcements in a calm, safe, and dignified way.
Oh,
Huh?
we just got a text. Governor Wolf said we're in code green.
Code. Thank God. Hi. As I was saying, my name is Payson Burt, and I am so honored and grateful to serve and to give you your announcements. I have an update from your board. As you know, the Board of Trustees has been monitoring the COVID-19 situation as it relates to our beloved community and our ability to hold in-person celebrations. At an interim meeting on the board on Tuesday night, June 23rd, we agreed that out of an abundance of caution and in compliance with the current Pennsylvania regulations, we will continue to live stream our Sunday celebrations at least through the month of July. This is a very fluid situation, and we will continue to monitor all changes in the regulations as dictated on a local and national level. We may decide to extend the current Sunday format beyond the end of July. We will keep everyone informed as the situation unfolds. Have you ever been curious about the Science of Mind textbook and been too overwhelmed with its size to even think you could get through it or where to begin? Well, we have the perfect solution. Our beloved Reverend Mike started his special Zoom book club yesterday and will hold this every Saturday until he completes the book. I did it last week and it was wonderful. It's an hour a week, and he asks you to log in a little early at 9:45 a.m. just to get things settled in before we start at 10. And don't worry if you didn't make it last week. You can join anytime. It's free. Love offerings, of course, are gratefully accepted. You can contact Reverend Mike by emailing him at revmike, REVMIKE, at cslphilly.org. And I am assuming Jeff is putting it somewhere around me as I speak. For more details, go to our events calendar on our new website, www.cslphilly.org, where you can also view past Sunday celebrations and Dr. Maxine and Reverend Mike's daily love notes. Demonstrations. We would love to hear of any wonderful experiences you have had as a result of spiritual mind treatment, affirmative prayer. Just contact Dr. Maxine. Her phone number is, Jeff, 760-574-2490. Or you can also text her with your good news. Dr. Maxine's phone number is also listed on our new website, cslphilly.org. And one more thing, we will be holding our Zoom social today right after our Sunday celebrations. We plan on doing this all the way until we are able to see your smiling faces in person again. So grab your cup of coffee and your favorite beverage and go to zoom.us on your computer or iPhone and enter in this ID number. I'm going to vamp until you get a pad and paper. Jeff, where's that number? 839-510-32452. And it's going to be the same number we use each Sunday. So once you write it down, it's good anytime we do it on Sunday. And this concludes today's announcements. Remember, be safe and hold your breath in the elevator.
Code green.
And exhale. Thank you.
That was a wonderful Payson. I loved it. Thank you so much. I think sometimes people simply tune in for the announcements. And thanks so much to Django Clump for that beautiful classical guitar rendition of Blackbird. Wasn't that amazing? We're so grateful for that young man. And now, speaking of music, we're about to have our closing song. Oh, let me back up just a moment. When I mentioned to you about the three communities, the three spiritual communities coming together, I want you to make a note right now, if you would please, that our next coming together of all three communities on Zoom will be on Wednesday, July 22nd. That's next month. Well, it happens to be Reverend Mike's birthday. Isn't that cool of him that he said, let's do it on my birthday? And if you want to sing to him that night, it would be okay. It would be welcome, actually. So now we're going to have a closing song, and it is called Everyday People, and it is being presented for us now by Playing for Change.
Sometimes I'm right and I can be wrong. My own beliefs are in my songs. Butcher, the baker, the drummer, and then makes no difference what group I'm in.
Well, sometimes I'm right and I can be wrong. My own beliefs are in my song. The butcher, the banker, the drummer, and then it makes no difference what group I'm in. 'Cause I am everyday people.
There is a blue one that can't accept the green one, for living with the fat one, trying to be a skinny one. Different strokes for different folks, and so on and so on. And Scooby-Dooby-Dooby-Doo, sha-sha. We got to live together.
I am no better, and neither are you. We are the same, whatever we do. You love me, you hate me, you know me, and then still can't figure out the thing I'm in.
'Cause I am everyday people.
Yeah, yeah.
There is a long head that doesn't like the short hair, for being such a rich one that will not help the poor one. Different strokes for different folks, and so on and so on. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo, sha-sha. We got to live together. There is a yellow one that won't accept the black one, that won't accept the red one, that won't accept the white one. Different strokes for different folks, and so on and so on. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo, sha-sha. I am everyday people.
And so we thankfully move forward with grace, ease, and great power as each of us says yes to that which is ours to do. And so it is.